Hello and welcome to Connected, episode 367. This week on the pod, we're making our picks for Apple's October keynote. I hate myself.
You never lived that one down.
Big thanks to our sponsors, Fitbod, Mac Weldon, and the Intrazone for making this possible. I'm joined, as always, by my two competitors. We're friends every other week of the year, unless it's Ricky time. Up first, we have Federico Vitici.
Hello. I'm bringing the passion, and I'm going to win the Rickies.
Big Mac passion this week.
Big Mac passion, the most passion for the platform I care about the least. That's how I roll. You know?
Somewhere the tvOS team just smiled.
Yeah.
Mike Hurley, the reigning champion.
Do it properly.
Michael Hurley, the reigning champion.
It's not proper.
Michael J. Hurley.
Come on. No.
No, it's Michael.
No.
He has two middle names.
No, it's not that either. You know what I want. Say it.
I actually don't know what it is. Can you just say it?
Go to either of the Twitter accounts and you'll find it.
Twitter.com.
Come on.
What are even the names? I don't even remember. Let's see.
Annual chairman or keynote chairman.
Annual
I remember
chairman.
them because I own them both. So it's really easy. It's in my Twitter list all the time.
Why are you listening to him?
Say it.
Why?
His Royal Highness, the Consolidated Champion.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I have come back to talk to the public, to talk to my citizens as I once again crush my competitors' bones into dust.
Wow.
For the Rickies.
This new MacBook is made of 100% recycled podcast bones.
Simpson.
That's what I want.
Apple Watch pre-orders. What did we get?
Nothing.
You tried though, right? Like this
I
isn't
did.
like this isn't like when
I
Federico
really
was
did.
like, "Oh, I forgot to order an iPhone." It's not like that.
I was
This
so
is
busy.
like, and there's no way I could possibly get one otherwise. This isn't like that.
Yeah, no, I actually tried. What was it that I could... Oh, actually, I should have screenshots of the thing
screenshot.
that I
You got
wanted.
receipts. You got receipts.
I
It was
got
like-
proof that I did try. Now
While
it's
Federico's
somewhere.
looking through iMessage history, I ordered the gold stainless steel with the gold stainless steel Milanese band. I also got a one of the blue, like the dark blue solo loops, and also the midnight leather link thing.
Wow.
Hey, I only order once every 2 years and go all out.
Okay, so I wanted to get stainless steel 45 millimeters. What's it called? The leather loop?
Leather link.
Leather link? Is that the name?
Yeah, that's the magnetic thing.
Yes,
The
that one.
magnet
In
link thing. I don't know.
magnetic leather link. I don't know. In white. Okay? Like, I couldn't find an option in the main gallery on the Apple Store website. So Mike tells me go to the Apple Watch Studio, sort of do-it-yourself online tool. I assembled the options that I wanted, and it just said unavailable. And the add to cart button was grayed out, and I couldn't click it. And that pretty much summed up my experience that day. Like, I tried for 5 minutes, and then I was done with it, and I said, I'll get it eventually. It was all very confusing. Mike, you talked about this on Upgrade. The whole experience is kind of a mess for getting an Apple Watch. Like, there's no really good default color anymore. I don't understand how it all works. Like, I don't understand the default combinations that are offered by Apple. I don't understand why there seems to be some kind of discrepancy between what you see on the store and what you can put together on the Apple Watch Studio. It all feels very confusing. Like, you have some options on one side and then some other options on the other, but they don't always work.
Okay, I don't know why they even sell them in pairs anymore.
Yeah. Like,
the Apple Watch Studio should just be the buying process. Like, I don't...
Exactly. So, because you either offer all the options, you either offer pre-made permutations of all the possible combinations,
Which is what they used to do. Or they only had a set selection that you could buy.
Or you make the Studio the default online ordering process, right? Because right now it's a mix of both, and none of those options really work, right? It's very confusing. So that one, I'm gonna try and get it eventually.
What case material were you trying
steel.
to get?
Steel. Steel,
Okay.
like regular steel color.
Because I was wondering if you might have been having like the partial problem that Jason's having, because like he wanted titanium, so you like they make you take the titanium sport band.
So my problem with titanium, I also wanted to get the fancy titanium one this year, but I figured, maybe I should try. But it's not shiny, right?
That's kind of flat.
And I feel like if I'm paying a lot of money for a fancy watch, it should be shiny.
I understand that.
I
That's why
don't
you
wanna,
get the steel, though, right? But I know you're struggling to
exactly. Like I don't want to spend a bunch of money for the top of the line watch and it looks boring and sad. I want it to be shiny.
Stephen, how do you feel about your boring, sad watch? You have titanium, right?
Yeah, I did the titanium with the Abyss Blue.
I got that
band.
one. That's the sport band color that I got, Abyss Blue.
Yeah, I think it looks nice. So I'm excited. I had a titanium Series 5, and I really liked it. I like the sort of flatter look. I like that it weighs less than the steel. So I'm very excited.
But yours is when? When does it arrive?
The first week of November.
Wow. Were you slow?
No, I got it as quickly as I could.
It's interesting. It also seems like they're having some issues. Friend of the show _ was furiously texting me. He was really struggling to get one. Because he was like, "Are you having the same issues that I'm having?" And I was like, "No, man. I took my time too with the Apple Watch. I was like poking through all the bands and stuff like that, and just placed my order, and I'm picking it up this weekend."
Yeah, I don't think any titaniums shipped in the first round from what I saw. But I also ordered a watch for my wife. She's been on a Series 5, and I got her the aluminum Starlight. She really likes that on her 13 mini, and I surprised her with the watch. She wasn't particularly interested in upgrading when we had talked about it, the day of the event. But I surprised her with it, and that is for pickup on Friday. So I will go get that, and it came with one of the. She likes the Sport Loops a lot, so one of the yellow gold ones. I forget the name of it.
Husband of the year over here.
There are a few Apple Watch reviews. They are out. I saw The Verge and iJustine and MKBHD, among others. We have a few links in the show notes for those. I think the overall story here is probably not surprising with the reviews. It's if you've got a Series 6, there's really not a huge reason. It seems like the thing Apple was kind of showing in its images are like the screen like dripping off the side of the phone. Like, it doesn't seem to be a big deal. It doesn't seem to radically change how the watch even looks, I think, at least on the videos that I saw. So probably not a year over year unless you're just really into tech. But if you're coming from, I think, a Series 4 or 5, definitely something older than that, this is going to be a really nice move for people.
I'm looking forward to, because this isn't a thing that's normal for me just because of my life and the things that I prioritize, right? Like I usually refresh my daily technology every year or whatever, because I think it's important to do it if this is what you do for a living and you have the means. But I haven't upgraded my watch, so I'm excited to get 2 years worth of upgrades for my Apple Watch, even though I remain begrudging that I won't get a white one to replace it with.
We spoke about iPad mini being a really good bath computer.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that our friends over at the Wirecutter, we don't know them. They're not really our friends.
Friends of the show, the Wirecutter.
Wow, shots fired. Stephen hates the Wirecutter. He said they're not our friends.
Hey, Mr. Viticci is the one who's been in the New York Times. Anyways, they have a nice article about the best bath trays. I will say my bath tray is not in here. I just got something cheap on Amazon years ago. But there's a lot of options out there.
This number one option looks really good.
This is a whole setup. Like you have a tray and a glass of wine and a book. Wow.
That iPhone is in this image is pretty precariously placed
right?
on this bath
Then I don't
tray.
understand.
I don't know why you would give you'd be so careful with the coconut oil. Make sure that's completely on the tray, but the iPhone can just hang over the side.
Look, if you drop a tub of coconut oil into your tub, you have to move. So it will never not be slippery. Mine has a place where you can put a stemmed glass, like this wine glass, but you like slide it in from the side so you can't knock it over very easily.
Now that is genius.
It's really good. I'm gonna say, if I can find it, I'll put a link to it in the show notes, because I've been very happy with mine for a long time, and it has a thing where you can. It has like a back sort of thing that you fold up, like a laptop, and it's canvas. And so if you don't have your iPad like in a cover, you can lean up against that. I like it as just like a little shield, I guess, for the back of the
Against
iPad.
what?
I don't know. Water.
Splash is.
Here it is.
How waterproof is the iPad Mini?
Not at all. Oh no, it's not available anymore.
Yeah, you bought the last one.
Maybe.
I think so. Now the problem is if you need a new one, you can't get it.
Here, I found it on Amazon. Oh, it's India. I found it on India Amazon.
Oh, in Indian Amazon, that's good.
I'll just drop it in the Discord so people can kind of see what I'm talking about with the wine glass thing. Look at this.
Indian Amazon. There we go. Oh, that's like there's a lot of compartments.
Mm-hmm.
Do you also burn incense?
I think those are just candles. I don't think that's necessarily incense.
No, there's incense on the side.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in the first picture there is. I mean, I have burned incense, not really in the tub. I will say this looks like Adina's been here because look, there's 2 loose AirPods just sitting.
That's true.
Talk about the iPhone not being a good idea. Loose AirPods on a bathtub tray is not good. Don't do that.
There are just AirPods everywhere in my house, man. I've got like a little epidemic of loose AirPods in my house. There's just a lot going on here. There's so many. They're everywhere. I find them all over the place. It's a real problem.
Is she listening right now? Is she in your office?
No, but she'll hear it later on. Do you know what? She'll probably only hear it on one of them because one of the battery life would have ran out on one of the AirPods. So,
Oh, that's good. We have an Apple event next week.
Oh, really?
We do.
What?
Wait, what?
When?
What?
Well, you got a couple minutes before we start making
They're
our
doing
picks.
a new one? When? They're
Again?
doing more?
They just did one.
They're doing more? The Mac just came out 2 weeks ago.
How many more things do these guys have?
Come on.
Any thoughts on the very Star Warsian artwork or anything?
I like Unleashed
Me too.
as a name. It's
It
look, there's
reminds
a
me of
lot
Sonic.
of. We're gonna get into this very soon. We're gonna get into this, right? Obviously, there's a lot of expectations for this MacBook Pro, which is likely the center of this event. And the phrase "unleashed" it's interesting because it's like
Unleashed from Intel.
let's show you what we can do. Yeah, like now we control the whole thing. Let's show you what we can do. Because like if you think about it, right, like. The iMac that I have in front of me is the first true Apple Silicon computer, right? Like it's the first like full design that came.
Right.
And it's so interesting and different and like perfect for the iMac, like how thin it is and all that kind of stuff. But it's like things that they probably couldn't have done before. And it's like, this is like, you can imagine basically like as perfect for a design as Apple would want for this computer. And it makes me, that phrase, like when looking at this MacBook Pro, it makes me pretty excited, right? Like, what can they do when they have no constraints in theory? So we'll see.
Well, I mean, last time they had no constraints, there was a solid gold Apple Watch. So let's not go crazy.
Was that the last time?
No, probably not. Yeah, I agree. I was talking to Quinn Nelson about this morning. I'm just like super hyped about this event. I think that this is going to be the first time that we really see, like, as good as the M1 is, they're really going to flex this time, I think, in a way we haven't seen yet. And if that's some ridiculous number of cores or some wild GPU numbers, whatever it is, it's just exciting. I think even if the MacBook Pros look similar, I think they'll look similar. We'll get into that maybe. But just what they can do, like you said, is the potential feels sky high with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to the Rickies, though, we're going to take a break, if y'all are ready.
Totally ready.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Fitbod. Fitbod is the fitness app that provides a personalized exercise plan, a fitness plan that actually fits you. When it comes to fitness, Fitbod believes everyone can be better. Whether you're working out 3 days a week or twice a day, Fitbod's algorithm uses data and analytics to help you build on your previous workout so your next workout is scientifically proven to be better than the last. Fitbod has been fine-tuned by certified personal trainers to bring the best practices of strength training to you. Your workout program is tailored exactly to your needs, making it perfectly suited to your unique body, experience, environment, and goals. It can be hard to know exactly how much you should be doing while exercising, but Fitbod figures that out so you don't have to worry about under or over training. It will mix up muscle groups, exercises, sets, reps, and weight over time to keep you on top form, while making sure you stay on a path that's right for you, helping you take steps toward becoming a better version of yourself. And if you're like me and you're working out at home right now, Fitbod has a bunch of body weight only workouts. These are great for indoor or outdoor. Maybe if you're traveling at some point, you don't want to go to the hotel gym. Body weight workouts are great for that too. But if you have access to a gym, or you're like me and you've kind of hobbled together some gym equipment over the last year and a half, you can customize in the app what equipment you have access to, and it will build your plan with that in mind. It's really, really cool. I've really enjoyed using Fitbod, not only for that customization, but I can see and tell the differences, that instead of just kind of wandering around in the fitness desert, it has me on a path towards the goals that I want to meet. Fitbod is available on iOS and Android, and you can start right now by going to fitbod.me/connected, and you'll get 25% off your membership. That's fitbod.me, fitbod.me/connected to try Fitbod for free, and you'll get 25% off your Fitbod membership. Our thanks to Fitbod for their support of Connected and Relay FM. Before we get started, we do want to remind people that you can follow along. Rickies.co has an amazing page set up for the event. Rickies.net is the place to go if you are looking for comprehensive results in the past. So Rickies.co and Rickies.net should both be open as we go through this. And Rickies.co now has a search function, which is useful, and we will get to why in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for the reading of the rules. Please stand.
Okay.
I gotta add. Yeah, okay, fine.
Standing, all right.
I'm standing.
The Bill of Rickies, last amended on September 8th, 2021. Past results can be seen at Rickies.co and Rickies.net. There are two types of Rickies, Annual Rickies and Keynote Rickies. The winner of the Annual Rickies is named Annual Chairman and retains the rights to the corresponding Twitter account for the full year. This position is awarded every January. The Keynote Rickies winner is named the Keynote Chairman and retains the rights to the corresponding Twitter account until the next keynote is held. Order for Annual Rickies is based on the winner of the previous year. Order for Keynote Rickies is based on the previous Apple event. The loser goes last. To earn any points, everything written down in the prediction document must come true. No half points may be awarded in any round, and picks cannot be reused. 1 point is awarded for any pick deemed correct in the first 2 rounds. 2 points will be awarded for correct picks in the risky pick round. If your risky pick is wrong, you lose a point, and the 2 other hosts must agree that your pick is, quote, risky. For Keynote Rickies, the scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored. The winner of the regular and risky picks must be granted access to the annual or event chairman Twitter account and will retain access until another winner is named. As a reminder, Mike is the current annual chairman and the current keynote chairman. That second Twitter handle is on the line. I have some suggested changes based on what happened last time.
Pretty significant changes.
I'm going to start with the easiest and we'll work to the most difficult.
Okay.
The line, the winner of the regular and risky picks must be granted access to the annual Twitter account, I think we
That's
can.
wrong.
I think we can cut that. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
we need that
wrong
line
anyway.
anymore.
The risky picks don't have anything to do with the...
Yeah, it's the overall event. So I think we just get rid of that line.
Yep.
For Keynote Rickies, the scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored.
No, wait. Why are we getting rid of that?
It's redundant.
Yeah,
It's
it's
redundant.
Because it's mentioned before. Yeah,
Right,
it's
yes.
mentioned before.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So this line about the scoring window when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored. Last time there was a point based on information that wasn't necessarily public. And it led to a lot of anxiety amongst the passionate ones. And I think we need to clarify. And my suggestion is that the information needs to be known publicly. And so that means it's on, for example, Apple's website or in an interview, or, someone has discovered it and written a blog post about it. So I think like whispers in the night is not enough for a pick to be deemed correct anymore.
Wasn't a whisper in the night, but okay.
I mean, I don't know how your sources talk to you.
And
I
they're not
assume they all
whispering in the
whisper.
night.
Federico, you can turn
don't whisper.
promotion off.
They don't whisper.
You don't know.
Or maybe
How is it possible to know a whisper in text? They might have been whispering.
Well, there's
on
that
iMessage,
whisper.
There's the
screen effect.
little effect. Yeah.
The text is really
Do that.
tiny. Promotion can be turned off, Federico.
Yes.
For Keynote Rickies, the scoring window starts when the event begins and closes when the picks are scored. What I would
Okay.
say is information
Must be publicly verifiable.
Nice.
to be used in scoring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That feels pretty good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Picks cannot be reused.
Mm-hmm.
This is tricky because we ran into last time.
This is tricky. Yes.
Oh yeah, where's my bell? Last time something changed. We either reused a bunch of picks or people noticed that we started reusing picks. My guess is
I think what happened was last time someone remembered this rule while we were recording and started
Calling
picking
us
it
on.
out
Yeah.
because there's no way that it was just that time that happened and it happened constantly all of a sudden.
so. I think that the spirit of picks cannot be reused is good because I could just pick the same thing over and over till it came true, and that makes the game less fun. So maybe we put a time cap on this. Like you can't reuse a pick within a year or 2 years
Yep.
or 3 events. What do y'all think?
12 months.
Yeah, 12 months. I mean, in 12 months, we usually have, like 3-4 events? At least.
Oh, but also just like if we want to say new MacBook Pro, you get like one chance a year individually
Yes.
to
Yeah.
say
Right,
that that's going
exactly.
to happen.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
get the next year or whatever, right?
But okay, you know me. I love rules. I love specifics.
I think we all love
12
rules. I think that's the one thing. we can all
12
take away.
months starting when?
Well, I was going to say 12 months is also too vague. So I would say picks cannot be used within 1 year of being made on an episode.
How is it different from 12 months?
Because 12 months you have several weeks of variance. And so let's take the annual Rickies, for example. Say that we make those picks on January 3rd, and then the next year we don't make them until January 5th, just the way the calendar falls. In 12 months, if that's the rule, you wouldn't be able to use that pick again. But if we said within 1 year, the 1 year resets
What?
on January 3rd.
That's exactly the same. You have to say
No.
a calendar year.
Within one calendar, exactly 1 year.
Wait.
Exactly 1 year.
Well, if it's exactly 1 year, then we go back to what you just said, which is if we did the episode on January 5th and then did the next one on January 3rd, you couldn't reuse any of the picks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's just say 365 days.
Let's say, hang on once.
But then we have a leap year problem.
You know what I want to, hang on. We should say 8,760 hours. What about if we go with instead 525,600 minutes?
Okay, we get it. You know how to use pcalc.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
I think within 365 days is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that means that it opens a weird door every 4 years, which is fun.
Yeah, and that's going to make the checking of this incredibly complicated.
You have an no. You just go to Wolfram Alpha or something, and you say this date minus 365.
All right, and also
Done.
while we're on this, is that per person, or if I say MacBook Pro, is it per person or per for all three of us?
What do you think, Federico? I'm torn. I like the idea that if a pick is taken, then it's dead for a year for everybody.
I think it has to be like a global. It has to be a global switch.
Global
Okay.
death.
Yeah.
Okay,
Picks cannot be reused by any host, any contestant.
I like that. Now we're putting in a really weird loophole that it doesn't have to just be the three of us that can be in the Rickies.
I mean, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I feel like the Rickies should go on in my honor. And I want y'all to live a happy life after me. I mean, cancel the next one out of memory of me.
Nah. If there's an event, we're gonna do it.
But, you know.
Hey, look, there's Twitter accounts on the line.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's you do it for the account. You know.
Yeah, look, if something happens to one of us, I think the one true John is next in line.
Yeah, I think that has been previously established that John is next. Yeah.
This covers the one true heir. Okay, so I think we're good.
And then it's one of John's sons comes after.
Right.
Wait, after John.
After John.
If John
if
then
something happens to
leaves,
John.
Then automatically through lineage goes to one of his children.
Has to be Finn. Can be.
Well,
can
unless
be
Finn abdicates his responsibility as host.
Right. In that case.
It goes to the next son.
In that case, let's just say that the default fallback is James Thompson. You know.
That's also
just to
fair.
be safe.
I feel like James is after John, provided it's not John. Right?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
because then we go into the Voorhees lineage.
So hold on. Steven gets hit by the bus. There's
Yep.
John.
There's John.
Abdicates or gets hit by a bus. There's James.
John's son. No, it
No,
goes to
there's
John's son.
John's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if I then get hit by a truck, James comes in to pick me up. Right?
Okay.
So he's the second line, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
No matter which one of the Voorhees is currently occupying the first.
Slot.
This, by the way, is not in the rules of the Rickies.
Yeah.
I just want to make that completely clear.
Well, maybe we need a
This is a whole
document of
separate
succession.
document.
You know, maybe we need
a whole
who's my
separate thing.
replacement? Who's my replacement?
Anyone. It could be James. It's not. We ain't got our own individual
okay. So
replacement.
James is like the okay.
the
Yeah,
next
he's-
person
yeah.
after one true John.
And then probably Snell is third.
Right.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then also Jason.
Then it'd be
Snell.
John, James, and Jason.
Oh, that's really. We should all just get hit by buses so the show can just have 3 J names.
Do you think those three are secretly plotting a podcast together?
they could now, couldn't they?
If they're
Now we
like,
can-
hey, let's go on a bus trip together.
It will be called Disconnected.
Ah! No, that's what happens if you get hit by
It'll
the
be called
truck.
the Triple J podcast. That's
Triple
the name.
J!
Can I just say that's like the laziest way of naming something, right? Like
Yes,
when people
exactly.
just name something with the letters of the names of the individuals
I know
involved in
it's
the
so
thing.
good.
That's a sick podcast
Yeah.
title burn.
Well, there you go. Just come up with something.
We
more.
had some friends who had a podcast called the B&B podcast. I guess that's a burn to their dead show.
Yes,
They
that was
didn't
lazily
have
named.
To mention that, but
It was
yeah.
I will say it. They lazily named their show.
Take that, Sean. Round
Sorry,
one.
Sean, I love you, but you could do better than that. Wait.
What?
I feel like
What?
Look, we went off on just an incredible tangent, but can we just nail down that rule that we changed, please?
All right, let me read again.
Yeah.
Picks cannot be reused by any contestant within 365 days.
Okay.
365 days of first being made?
There you go.
we go.
Adding
There
more
we go.
complexity.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Yeah.
And really, I don't think it'll be that hard to check because you could just look in the archives and see like when the event was a year ago.
So, but
You know, I don't foresee any complications with this rule.
okay, but like
He said,
within 365 days. So if it is 365 days, so
Cannot
let's
use it.
imagine. But is that within?
yeah,
But what if we then go to time?
we'll deal with that if it happens.
And what about leap years, as Kate says?
Well,
it's
leap
fine?
years, that doesn't really
doesn't-
make a difference. It's just you get an extra day. So
That's true.
It opens
All
an
right.
opportunity for you to cheat.
that's right.
So
Yeah. Leap days are the solar system's way of cheating.
And I just want to confirm, all of these rules, they make effect for now, right? It's
Correct.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we've reused any of these picks in the last year, we got to change them.
So James is making an interesting suggestion in Discord that it should just be year.
No, because it means the first half of the year is really easy.
yeah, exactly.
All right, fine.
That James is already trying to lay the groundwork for easy victories when we're all dead, and I will not
Yeah,
stand for it.
see, we can't trust James when it comes to rule setting anymore
No.
because he's just trying to lay good groundwork for himself.
Yeah.
Yep. Kate has made a connected line of succession.
Okay, that's all right. Great, that's in the Discord.
It's incredible.
I like it. Okay. So Mike, Stephen Tichy, John Voorhees, younger Voorhees, James Thompson, Jason Snell.
Okay, round one.
okay.
Oh God. Okay.
So the order this time is Mike, and then Federico, and then me. I'm coming from behind this time. Mike, you're first.
So I would like to, at this point, establish that I have kind of like a new approach when it comes to the Rickies and my picking of the Rickies, of like my like personal picks. I go with obvious, passionate, risky. That's what I attempt to do. Everybody else can decide on how I perform with this, but that's like my thing that I attempt. Right? So
Interesting.
my obvious pick, which is my first round pick, Apple unveils a new MacBook Pro.
Okay.
So I said it was boring. This feels like the obvious. I mean, honestly, this feels like the obvious thing. If this doesn't happen, I don't know what the event is for. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's what we're all expecting. So that one for sure. I think you're like, this is a point because like we know this is coming, right? And the existing models are out of stock and many Apple stores.
Yep.
So this is happening. This is coming, and it's launching shortly, I guess, within the next couple of weeks, I would say. So yeah, okay. My first pick. So I don't like to put a label on myself, you know, unlike Michael. I don't follow a strict system. I just go with the flow, go with the passion.
I'm not saying people have to do what I do.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share my methodology with the group, you know?
At least one new MacBook Pro model has an upgraded webcam because really the existing webcams are bad.
All right, so here we go. It's time to ask some supplementary questions.
Okay.
If they just change the image signal processor, is that an upgraded webcam?
No, it's not.
So we're saying they have to reference the camera hardware has changed.
So what's the current resolution of the existing MacBook Pros? 720p?
100p is the current ones.
But technically speaking, is it 720 still?
720p.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay. So they put a 1080p camera.
That's not
so-
the pick is not 1080p. I just want to, I don't think you need to go with that. But just
Yeah.
it has to be better than a 720p camera.
It has to be better than the 720p camera. Yes, it has to be.
Mm.
And if I were to speculate outside of the context of the pick, it has to be a 1080p camera, right? I mean, so when it comes to phrasing the pick, at least one new MacBook Pro model has an upgraded, upgraded webcam should do it. Like I'm not talking about the signal thing. It has to be an actual upgraded camera.
If resolution is the thing that you're mostly focused on, we could say a camera with a resolution higher than 720p.
Yeah, I would like that clarification in the pick, I think.
As an upgraded webcam with a higher resolution. Yeah,
That's
fine.
Question for you both. Actually, I have two questions. I don't think that these are in any of the picks, so stop me if they are. Face ID, center stage. Do you think that the MacBook Pro would get either of these?
Not Face ID, yes, center stage.
Yeah, I think that's where I am too. I think center stage is coming everywhere. I mean, the iPad Mini got it, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
The cheap iPad got it. So I think it would be in these Macs.
Why no Face ID, do you think?
I feel like they don't want to. Well, first of all, I don't think they are ready to have like a dual biometric authentication system. If they're keeping Touch ID, I don't think they want to do Touch ID and Face ID on the same machine.
Well, but my assumption is that if it had Face ID, it wouldn't have Touch ID.
Yeah.
Nah. I don't know. Computer like laptops are. I feel like maybe I guess it works with the iPad Pro, and it's
It
fine.
would be great. It would have been better, right? Like then
Probably
like
be
how-
better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think the hardware's small enough yet. I don't think it's thin enough. I mean, I know like you can do it on a Windows laptop with Windows Hello, but that's using basically a camera and some other. I think that maybe uses IR.
It uses infrared.
Yeah,
It
but
uses
it's not
infrared
the
Windows
same
One.
technology Apple uses in Face ID necessarily with the dot projector, and Apple's stack I think is a little bit different. And I mean, even looking at teardowns of the new phones with the smaller notches, that's not thin enough to put in a laptop screen. So I don't think Face ID is coming to the Mac yet. And if it did, it would show up, I think, first in something like the iMac or an external display, not a notebook, for that thickness and price reason.
Okay. I want Face ID.
Oh yeah, yeah, me too. I just don't think this is the time.
I believe it will happen. I agree with you both that I don't think it's now, but I thought it was just a question worth asking.
My pick, at least one new Mac model announced, ships in November.
Okay.
At least one. Okay. It has to be November, right?
Yep, I'm just saying it very plainly. I think at least one of the models won't ship. They'll say that it's not shipping until November or next month, or however they phrase it.
This is an oddly specific pick.
Well, I mean, we're already halfway through the month, and so I feel like I've got some leeway there with the time. And if these things are, I mean, look, Apple wanted these things out a long time ago, if rumors are to be believed, and I don't think would be that unusual for them to say, yeah, hey, you can pre-order next Friday, and they'll ship the first Friday in November or something.
Pre-order
Just do it with the
next
watch.
Friday?
Whatever.
That seems like a bold thing to do. I mean, I think
I don't think they'll be that specific. I think they'll just say, hey, coming in November. They did it with all the M1 stuff too last year. So they've been a little wishy-washy with their dates throughout the pandemic, which is understandable. And I think that will continue with this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'd be surprised if they did an event on Monday and nothing was available for 2 weeks.
We should talk about the Monday thing. Google has a Pixel event on the Tuesday, so I guess that's why Apple's going on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
that's why.
literally zero other obvious reason, and that's a very clear reason, I think. Because the Pixel 6 has a lot of hype. Like, if Apple counter-programmed, they would lose out, I think.
And there's a Samsung event on Wednesday, right?
Yeah,
So
that
there's also
Samsung
that.
event's probably nothing, though.
Yeah. But yeah, it's on the Monday because of Google. So
Mm-hmm.
I see some people on Twitter say, "Oh, it's Monday because Monday Mac, with the M." It's no.
We'll talk
It's
about
just-
a reach. Oh, my God.
It's just a Google event
Yeah,
on Tuesday.
just understand that Apple knows they don't want to go up against Google. Like, they don't
Like-
need to. It's not like
like, I
they
like
have
you-
to get people anywhere.
I like your imagination, yes, but it's the explanation is more boring.
Yeah.
All right, round 2.
Okay.
Mike, you're up.
We got a color option that is new to the MacBook Pro in either name or hue.
Okay, name or hue. Define all this, please.
Yeah. So, imagine they bring out a MacBook Pro and it's like a dark color and they're like, hey, this is midnight, right?
Yeah.
Or instead of this is space gray. Or the hue would be like, here's a laptop and it's like orange.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean?
But where do you draw the line? Like, what if they bring out a laptop and it's more silver than the previous silver?
Oh yeah, I see how I've done this incorrectly. So what I was trying to say is, okay, because my what I was trying to get against was like they bring out a one and it's like a dark silver and they call it graphite. You see what I mean?
Right.
So, right. So really, it's like either it's a new color or a new name of a color. I can probably get away with this by just saying a new name.
So it's really 2 picks in one. It's either like, can you do a pick where you're like, oh, it can be a new name for an existing color, or it can be a new color?
I'm gonna say in name.
Okay.
All right, I think that clears it up, and I honestly I think gets me the same thing that I wanted anyway. Because they're not gonna say like, look at the new space gray and it's pink. You know, it's not gonna make any sense. So they'll give a new name if they have a new color.
Okay,
What I was trying to also say that, like, you know, if they show off one and it's silver and they call it Starlight, because you know what they're like they have names for colors and they're different in every single device. But I think like a new color option, so I'm gonna say we get a color option that is new to the MacBook Pro in brackets name.
This color option, the name of this color option must be new to the MacBook Pro platform. Yeah. That works. Okay. All right.
I don't think we're going to get like rainbow-like colors, right? But I do think that they're going to change it up a little bit. And I expect it will probably be Midnight and Starlight.
I think so.
Like, that's what I reckon they will come in Midnight and Starlight. That's what I think it will be. But we'll find out. I mean, because that Midnight and Starlight... Wait, Starlight is the Pro phone? Or no? None of the Pro phones?
No.
So that, you know, that could go against me, right? But at the moment, I think Apple's colors are all over the place.
Yes, they are. But also, like, the dark one could be, you know, for pros, if you will, because apparently pros only like dark colors. I don't know. Okay.
So, like, what do they call the colors now on the MacBook Pro?
Space gray. And that's it? No?
Space gray and silver. So I'm hoping on either a third color, which is also possible, or they call the space gray, they make it darker and call it graphite or something.
Why can't they make an orange MacBook Pro? Like, I don't get it.
That'll be the Air, I think.
Yeah, they'll make an orange MacBook Air. Like, that's going to happen next year. But
yeah, but what? They also do this on the iPhone, right? Why can't I get the most expensive one that also has a fun color?
And it is weird because, like, they made the Pro color much brighter this year. Like, it doesn't really follow the same convention as the previous two colors, which were much darker, deeper colors. I don't know. Like, look, we said it. Everyone's saying it at the moment. Apple's color decisions are a bit all over the place right now.
Okay, my second pick.
Johnny Ive was the only person keeping that in control. That's what we've learned. Johnny Ive leaves and the colors go out the window.
My second pick is a boring one. I will say that, but hey, you gotta win some points, right? A release date is provided for macOS Monterey. I think it's about time. They're putting out betas every few days at this point.
Up to beta 10 now.
Beta 10 just came out a few minutes ago, and I believe I've heard a few things about there being some changes to the tab bar in Safari.
Is that publicly available information?
It's not publicly available information, but if I were, to be running macOS Monterey, that's what I would check. You know what I mean? I hear things occasionally, and this is one of the things I hear. So maybe they're continuing to listen.
Someone whisper it to you in the night.
Someone whispered to me in a message.
Safari is better.
New tab bar. Somebody whispered, and I took that whisper and I turned it into a louder sentence for a podcast.
You amplified it. You shouted it.
I amplified the whisper and I made a podcast out of it.
Is it in the current beta?
Beta 10, the one that just came out a few minutes ago.
So how come nobody's talking? Why is nobody talking about this?
I can't believe nobody's talking about it.
It takes a while to install a Monterey update.
So by the time everyone's listening to this episode, they already know.
Yes.
They already know whether the whisper was a whisper of truth or a whisper
in
of
the wind.
Deception.
A whisper of, deception.
A careless whisper.
You could say that. Nice. So yeah, macOS Monterey, there has to be a release date.
We're saying by date, by the way. All right, we're going to go with day of the week or numbered date.
Yeah, what if they just say it's coming next month? That's not a date.
Yeah. Or like October.
Oh, no, that's a date. No, that's a date.
No, it's not. Date. No, that's not a release date. That's a release window.
Hey, I just want to point out we cannot contest these picks. We can only ask for clarification.
I mean, we can contest them,
but it doesn't have to change them.
I mean, any kind of release. Okay. Here's my pick. Any kind of release time frame. Is that good for you, Steven?
Yeah, man, you watered that way down.
That is the weakest pick. This is weak sauce right now.
macOS Monterey continues to exist.
macOS Monterey is coming out at some point, and that's fine for Federico.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you can do what you want.
Me, okay?
I know. You know what? I'm not going to fight you, but I think our listeners know.
Predicted Apple unveils a new MacBook Pro.
Look,
come on.
You said you were coming into this with picks of passion, and I think that was a lie.
That's not passionate.
It's not passionate. Now, we haven't seen his Ricky yet.
No, you are tricking me. You are tricking me into changing this pick. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fall for it again.
I mean, if you don't want to be a man of your word, that's up to you.
You pry on my insecurities when it comes to passion threshold, and you use that to your advantage.
Well, look, you can do whatever you want.
You are a bad man, Stephen Hackett. You should know better than to do this. It's a bad move.
Can you imagine just for a second? They do this event. We get 2 or 3 new Macs, and there's just no mention of Monterey ever coming out. Can you just imagine what people would say then?
That would be a problem.
That would be incredible.
They don't have to say it all.
No, I mean,
they could just say, "Here's macOS Monterey." You know him, and then just move on.
You guys know Monterey.
You know Monterey, right? You've seen it.
You guys, you've seen this thing, right? No, but what I'm curious to see, and we're going to talk about that later. I think is it in my flexes? Yes. What happens with this release date? And I do think we're going to get a release date. But what happens to 2 features, SharePlay and Universal Control? Because in theory, SharePlay, Apple said is coming later. But later was referring to iOS and iPadOS. Now, the later is now. So does Monterey launch, version 12.0 with SharePlay or not? And also, what happened to Universal Control? Does that feature still exist, or has it gone the way of pinned folders in files in iOS 13, which is never to be seen again after WWDC?
I want to bring to the table an interesting thought from the Discord, or an interesting point. They are saying, I can't prove this is accurate right now, but that during the iPhone event, an actual date for iOS 15 was not given.
Well, but this is not the draft for upgrade, right? We have a
yes, it could have come later, couldn't it? Yes, I forget the rules. Who knows how rules work?
We just read them. Do you mean read them again? Please stand.
Yes, please. Can you remind me of rules 1 through 4?
The scoring time frame. That rule?
No, I actually remember it.
It's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. The Discord are confusing me. I don't know why they tell me this. If it's going to be counted, then why are they telling me? Throwing me off.
For my pick in round 2, I am I'm gonna go back to my old friend the Mac Mini. I won the October.
He won with the Mac Mini.
Yeah, remember?
Remember that?
Yep. I said there was going to be an M1 Mac Mini. No one believed me. I had a dream about it where Tim Cook was on stage. A lot of the lighting was like red and angsty, and he introduced the Apple Silicon Mac Mini. Called it a bad little.
No. You can't say that.
I'm gonna bleep it.
You can't say that on the show.
I'm gonna bleep it.
Yeah, but the myth,
guys.
Bleep.
Hold on.
Okay.
I have some breaking news.
Oh, is the mask unlocked?
For real. No. macOS Monterey, Beta 10, System Preferences, Displays. There's a new menu. Allow your cursor and keyboard to move between any nearby Mac or iPad.
Ooh.
There's a checkbox, and it's labeled as beta.
Oh,
Universal Control,
it's
baby.
Gonna ship.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
is that news or is that a whisper again?
The actual thing
this
that
is
we
on
want.
Reddit. It's not a whisper.
Well, the only thing that we care about, which again everybody listening to the show already knows about, is if they changed anything in Safari.
Yeah. Go look at Safari.
So that pick was in November 2020, which was
but I haven't read my pick yet. My pick is worded in a way.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a repeat.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, as a reminder for people in case they forgot. You said
dream.
a desktop Apple Silicon Mac is announced, and we both thought that you'd lost your mind. And
it proved to be
ended
genius.
up coming true, yeah.
And so I'm building upon that. My round 2 pick. Apple announces a Mac Mini that is more powerful than the original M1 model.
Okay.
Either a new one or one on top of the line that's, M1X or M2 or whatever.
What does more powerful mean?
We know what more powerful means.
What is power? No, we don't. What is power?
What is it saying? That it has more of a control over me and my emotions?
It probably will
Right.
because you're going to be,
Power,
I need a Mac Mini. Oh, don't.
If it draws more electricity, is it more powerful?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if it draws less electricity than the model it replaces, is it less powerful? And does that less power balance out the more power of the chip? What is power?
We won't let you win with the Mac Mini again. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll see if my Mac Mini dreams come true.
Are you
No, but
going to
seriously,
define power?
What is
You know
more
what it means.
powerful?
It's more performant.
Say that then. Put that terrible word into
More
the picks.
performant.
Performant.
Yeah, I hate that word.
Performant. Than the original. Apple and
No.
that's not spelled correctly.
No.
Because
There we
It's
go.
not a real word. You cannot spell incorrect.
Yeah, it's like performa
words that don't exist
with an
incorrectly.
on the end. Apple announces a Mac Mini that is more performant than the original M1 model.
Okay.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they had a new Mac Mini and they're like, this one is to sit below the current M1 Mini in the line. We wanted to make a really cheap computer.
It's
like, none of us
$200.
expect it. And then Steven loses.
Can you imagine if they had a slide that said more performant than the competition? That would be incredible, right?
Throw me into the sea.
All right, so that is the end of round 1 of round 2.
Okay.
I think we're all feeling pretty good.
I think so.
It's time to change that with the risky picks after this break. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Mack Weldon. You're busy, so why not stop thinking about what to wear and just embrace the radically efficient Mack Weldon Daily Wear System. The Daily Wear System is a selection of clothes rooted in smart design that are made with performance fabrics and built to work together. From breathable t-shirts and polos to stylish button-ups and shorts, underwear, and beyond, Mack Weldon makes it easy for you to dress for work, leisure, and play, or wherever your summer takes you. I've got some Mack Weldon shirts, shorts, their sweatpants. Everything I have from them is fantastic. It's comfortable, it's made really well, and it's held up really well over time. And it's fantastic. I can mix and match between them. It all looks good together. For the ultimate lazy Sunday, their Ace sweat shorts have modern tailoring and pair perfectly with their ultra soft, ultra upgraded Pima tees. And for weekend travels, their silver knit polo and radius shorts are perfect for those high-tech, highly packable combinations that we all want. We always want this to be easy, and Mack Weldon makes that possible. So buy some time with the Mack Weldon Daily Wear System. For 20% off your first order, visit mackweldon.com/connected and enter the promo code CONNECTED. That's mackweldon.com/connected, promo code CONNECTED for 20% off. Mack Weldon, radically efficient wardrobing. Our thanks to Mack Weldon for their support of the show and Relay FM.
Can you give a reminder on the importance of the risky pick for people that are new?
So 1 point is awarded for round 1 and round 2 picks. If your risky pick is correct, you get 2 points, but if it's wrong, you lose a point. And of course, we agreed previously that these picks were risky. We do that over iMessage. In this case, in the 24 hours we had to put this together.
Yeah, this one was rough compared to usual even. All right, my risky pick is Apple teases another Mac product. I don't know why I phrased it that way, but I did. Another Mac product that is not for sale right now with Pro in the name and says it's coming next year.
Wow, that's a lot of qualifiers.
You know what I thought? Well, the qualifiers are that's what makes it risky. Mac product could actually work out good for me because if they're like, hey, we have this new keyboard for our Macs and it's called Keyboard Pro and it comes next year, then your boy over here gets a point. But yep, Mac product that is not for sale right now with Pro in the name coming next year.
Like a DAC Pro.
Could be I mean, it could even be an Apple Pro display coming next year. Any
like,
of these things.
Oh, I didn't think about
will
that.
work for
Oh,
me.
I don't like that all of a sudden. Because what
There
you
is
meant is Macintosh, right? You meant computer.
No, what I meant is what I said. Mac product.
No, you're
Well,
backing out now.
a display
Doesn't
is not
matter.
a Mac product. A display is not a Mac
No,
product.
it's just a product.
Unless they
on its own.
said it was only for the Mac, right? Like then,
But it wouldn't
it's not
be.
going to be. I know it's not going to be, but they might make the display, and it's like, hey, we've got this new connector. It's called the Mac connector, but like, look, even then, that's still risky.
No.
What do you mean? No, it's my pick.
When I
agreed to it.
agreed that it was risky,
agreed.
I read it and understood it to be another Mac computer.
I can't help how you understand it. It says
and
Mac
I
product.
think product
doesn't
makes
say
it
Mac
less
computer.
risky.
No, Mac product that is not for sale right now with Pro in the name. It says it's coming next year.
Look, Mac product is trying to be clever around this, but
Yeah.
Mac product means a Mac product. Like if it's a display, we're not gonna give him the point.
That's true.
Yeah, all right. Just get rid of the word product.
Okay.
I tried.
Another Mac.
I should have kept this arbitration for afterwards, and I maybe could have won this on that. You know?
So this is like what they did with the iMac Pro and the Mac Pro. They showed it off at WWDC, came out in December. What you're saying is they would show it off in October and it would come in the next year sometime.
So here's the thing. I don't really think this is going to happen. I think that they would typically do this the way that they've done it in the past. WWDC for like 6 months later, right? Just as you say, they did it for the iMac Pro. They did it for the Mac Pro. They've done it for 2 Mac Pros. They did it for the trash can.
Oh, yeah.
They did it for the iMac Pro, and they did it for the Mac Pro, the cheese grater.
It's how they introduced the Mac Pro.
It's how they always, any professional Mac, they introduce it this way. It makes a lot of sense because you've got people in the room, they're all going to scream, everyone's so excited.
Yeah, except there's no room anymore.
There's no room. There's no room where it happens. The only reason that I'm picking this is on the off chance that they wanted to do this in June and couldn't have. And so they're doing it now because there's been a delay on these products. And it's actually going to come in like February or something. Because I do think that there is, even without WWDC in the picture and people in a room, for when it comes to the professional machines, I do think that there is a benefit in pre-announcing them. They get to flex a little bit. They get people to talk about it. They don't sell in large numbers anyway, and it allows for some of their professional customers to make more informed purchasing decisions at that high end. So that there is genuine benefit to it. And so I think that, you never know. I'm betting on there possibly having been some delays, which there definitely has been, I feel like. All right, look, actually, we know there has been because all of the entire computer industry is delayed. And I think it's probably fair to say nobody was expecting these MacBook Pros to have come out now. I think that the rumors for these things has been going for a very, very long time, as if they were just around the corner the whole time.
I'm going full passion, full risky with this one. So we've all been operating under the assumption that this is going to be the MacBook Pro event. I'm going to say this is going to be the Mac Pro event as well. And my risky pick is the new Mac Pro with Apple Silicon is fully announced for release later than October. I think they're going to announce the Mac Pro. It's not going to come out in October, of course. It's going to be later than that. Later than October is, could be January, could be December, could be March.
Okay.
But I do think it's not going to be a teaser. It's going to be a full-on announcement of the new Mac Pro running the M1X or M2, whatever.
Y'all's 2 risky picks are very, very similar.
They're close, but they're not the same.
I'm saying it's not a Mac, like a generic Mac. I think we're going to see the new Mac Pro.
The new Mac Pro. And you're
and
saying
it's not a teaser.
full details.
So not like it's not like a slide where it's like a half of a Mac Pro in the shade and you know what it is, but they're not fully telling you what it is, right? Like it's not a teaser.
This is like specs and or price.
Yeah, this is like, here's the Mac Pro. Here's what we are announcing,
Now, I would argue that if this happens, I also get my point.
No,
well,
because you specifically said tease.
No.
So if it's not available, it's a tease.
No, but the verb that you use matters, because if Apple announces the Mac Pro, it's not a teaser.
What does fully mean?
That's not a verb. It
Doesn't matter. Right, but there could be it's not all the information. What if there's some information that they don't give on stage?
Well, that could be true for any iPhone or iPad event.
Then they never fully announce anything.
Well, that's more philosophical. Like it goes beyond the scope of this show, though. Like
I think anything.
Like you're saying it's a teaser. I'm saying it's a regular product announcement during an Apple keynote. I don't know how to better explain that. I think it's pretty clear cut. Like
I think that difference is actually clearer than I thought it was.
Like a teaser.
Yeah.
You know.
Or we have to. Well, where do we draw the line at teaser then?
I would say we need to see. Well, okay, so I'm thinking about the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro, they announced almost full specs at WWDC, and it shipped months later.
Yeah.
The Mac Pro, they didn't quite announce full specs. I think
we need to. If you're gonna say that there is a possibility that we couldn't both get the same point, then I think that we need to have. There's a line for what's a teaser. Like it has to be established.
Teaser is just showing off like a teaser shot of the machine, like for example, and here's something else we're working on. We're not ready to share the details just yet. Like that, like they've done that time and time again before.
Because all right, so the way that I was thinking of this, if they like show it all off, like they show off the way it looks, and stuff like that. Like they actually show the whole product. Like this is what the product looks like, but they don't have any more information or whatever. That's still a teaser in my mind. Like I think we need to work out I would say if they don't give a date and they don't give a price, that's still a teaser, no matter how much more information they provide.
Oh, well, then we have the same pick then. One of us is...
Well, no. I'm saying there is no date and no price. Like we're fully announced.
Yeah, but if they go in... Well, but what if... So if they go into the full details of the specs and the chip they're using and the graphics card they're using, does that qualify as a teaser for you?
I don't know.
Well...
I don't know. But what I'm saying is I picked first, right? That's the rules. So I get first crack at a pick. And I don't want to lose my risky pick.
Right, but you can't say that a teaser applies to all kinds of announcements. Like you may go first, but
no,
teaser
I'm not saying
means something.
that. I'm saying we have to agree now what that line is. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to allow any agreement. Like I just want to know up until what point is it considered a teaser and not. Because I just want to say, like, visuals I think are important. Like if they show up, like if they show a picture of a new Mac Pro, that could still be a teaser. I still think that's a teaser. So I guess... All right, so a teaser would not include a date, right? We can all agree on that. And it wouldn't include a price.
Say generally yes, but even next year is a type of date. And scrubbing back through these other machines they've done this with, they've announced a starting price.
Okay.
So my feeling is that either Federico has to be more specific in a way that differs him from Mike, like say it is going to come the end of the year or come in, I don't know. I think they're too close. I wish we had spotted this before the show, but here we are.
Okay, I'm going to reword mine. It's fine.
Okay, let's see.
The new Mac Pro with Apple Silicon is announced with specs and starting price for release later than October. Is that better?
Well, that's what I said a second ago. Even their teases of the previous Mac Pros and the iMac Pro included some specs and the starting price.
Well,
so if that's true, then Mike needs to say, Mike, are you saying that we don't have specs and we don't have price?
Well, no, what my pick is that they do what they've done in the past, basically. But says it's coming next year.
Yeah, so I think your picks are now completely the same.
So we have the same pick. This was my problem for this event. Like, I honestly have no idea what else could be an option. Okay, I don't have a pick. So...
I mean, Apple teases another Mac that is not for sale right now. With Pro in the name, it says it's coming next year.
Okay, you know what? I'm changing my pick.
Okay.
And I'm going full risky.
Okay.
I'm typing this.
Here he goes. It's happening live. We're doing it live. Apple announces a new display.
A new display. That is not.
Oh, it carries on. That is not the
What's it called? The big
Pro Display XDR.
Okay. New Apple display. Is that risky enough?
It's been
It was
rumored.
months ago, like last
But
year.
it's only been rumored, and I don't think there's ever been a solid rumor on this product. It's. What would you be willing to add a time frame of release?
Sure, why not? This is not my pick anymore, anyways.
This is somebody else's pick.
Okay,
Now.
you guys
This
have
pick
me-
is just
have me-
flowing through your body.
If I'm losing this, I want it to be on the record. Like, if I'm losing this game and I'm gonna lose this game, it's because they made me change.
Whoa,
my
whoa,
pick.
whoa!
So-
No, I'm not allowing
No,
that to happen. So we've
that's
got
what
two things
happened.
here.
You can argue that. That's what happened.
No, one,
We pick
I
in order.
pick first, right? So that's
Sure.
that's rules. Two, I was giving an option of we both get the points. And then Steven came in and was like, no, that's not happening. I just want to say, I never said you couldn't have your pick.
Yeah, whatever.
All I was trying to do is make sure I still got points if you got points. That was all.
Apple announces a new display that is not. What do you want? Also, date and price.
I think date's enough.
Okay. That is not the Pro Display XDR. Launching. This is a ridiculous. Launching within 3 months. Is that okay?
Ooh, yeah, okay.
I like it.
All right. Cool.
Why not just do by the end of the year?
Launching
In 2020, whatever year we're
by
in now.
the end of 2021 in the Northern Hemisphere. Is that detailed enough?
Perfect.
Okay.
Works for me.
All right.
My risky pick. 5G becomes an option on at least one MacBook. Any comments on that? I was expecting something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense to bring 5G to, like, it's on the iPad and it's laptop-like. I mean, close enough to a laptop anyway. I think it's risky. It's also like, I don't know, like, I love this pick because it's something that I really would like to see. So there's like an
it'd be
element
sweet.
of, like, it'd be super sweet to have this. So I really want it, you know?
Breaking news!
What?
They moved the bookmarks bar above the tabs bar.
Of course they did.
you
I
go.
told you.
There you go.
Really? Do we have
It was not a
screenshots?
careless whisper. Yeah, from friend of the show and what do we call it? Person in succession, Jason Snell.
There you go. Oh, okay. Well, the tabs are still stupid, but okay.
At least they're in the right
Thank
place.
you, Jason. I'm retweeting now.
I guess the only thing is Mac OS ready for cellular networking? You know? Because
Yeah,
the
I
Mac
thought about that.
doesn't care. You know, like we've all been on these situations where like you tether and blow through your data cap.
Yeah. And I think Apple at this point would just be like, that's for you to deal with.
Really?
I think so.
Does macOS Monterey support low power mode on the Mac?
Yes. That is a Monterey feature, low power mode.
Because that potentially, like if you're doing a 5G MacBook, it makes sense to pair low power mode with it, right? If you want to control those, data transfers, for example, and make
Or
sure
am
that
I
you're not-
thinking of iPad OS? I know iPad OS got it. Did Mac OS?
I thought it did.
macOS, I think macOS, I remember Marco tweeting about it. Like, finally, we got
Mac
low power
OS
mode
low
on the
power
Mac.
mode. Yeah, I found a Macworld article for how to turn on low power mode in
Okay.
Mac OS Monterey.
All right.
So 5G becomes an option on at least one MacBook. You can see
Okay.
the story, right? Like, hey, you're out in the field shooting a documentary and you need to upload footage to your editor and the iPad sucks at files, so bring your MacBook Pro. They'll probably leave out the part about the iPad being bad at files, but the rest of it jives in my mind.
Yeah.
All right. So let's recap these risky picks, which took a while to get right.
Do you want to have another go, Federico? I don't
No,
want
it's
you
fine.
to leave here feeling bad.
No, I don't
know?
feel bad. I think.
Okay.
I think they're gonna do a display. Like, I'm not like. Look, I'm not upset. Okay, it's just.
Okay,
for
I just
the
want to
show,
double check,
okay?
right?
No, thank you. It's fine. It's like it's my persona on these games, Like
No, don't say that part. You're lifting back the
I
curtain
mean,
too
people
much.
know by now, right?
I just wanted to double check.
No, I'm totally good. Good. Also, like 5G on the MacBook. Like it's something that I really want to see. So
I will be so upset if they do not have a display. Like if they bring out the MacBook Pro and don't have a display for it, I will genuinely be very upset.
Exactly. So, risky pick round we have. Mike says Apple teases another Mac that is not on sale right now with Pro in the name and says it's coming next year. Boy, if it's coming, if all this comes true, but it's coming this year, you are in trouble.
Well, it wouldn't be a tease then, would it?
Well,
But I guess we don't have to worry about what's a tease and what isn't anymore.
I said Apple announces a new display that is not the Pro Display XDR, launching by the end of 2021 in the Northern Hemisphere.
So it's not launching in the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, but no, the Northern Hemisphere is not correct, though.
Yeah, you get rid of that.
We don't need that part. We just don't need that
part. By
part.
the end of 2021.
And also, if... That's nice. Also, if they bring out a new Mac Mini and don't have a display, it's also going to be equally upsetting.
Exactly.
Yeah, because then I get the point and you lose yours.
So launching by the end of 2021 somewhere. And by somewhere, I mean at least in one time zone. It's the end of 2021. And the Pro Display XDR, it's launching.
Looking at you, Australia.
Yeah. And Steven said 5G becomes an option on at least one MacBook. So
Australia's first, not last.
It doesn't matter.
So we have, at the end of the risky pick round, we have Mac Pro, a new display, and 5G in a MacBook.
I just want to say, I could also get, if they do an iMac Pro.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yes.
Mac Mini Pro.
Mac Mini Pro or something brand new.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by The Intrazone. If you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, The Intrazone is a bi-weekly podcast with conversations and interviews on how Microsoft SharePoint, OneDrive, and related technologies can work for you. And it's a lot of fun finding new podcasts. On The Intrazone, you'll hear from guest experts behind the scenes and out in the field, so you can see how things like SharePoint can fit into your everyday work life to easily share and manage content, knowledge, and applications. Each episode covers different segments like news and announcements, focus topics, guest perspectives, FAQs, upcoming events, and much more. And the topics for the shows are really interesting. Things like migrating to the cloud. If you have an old server on site somewhere, there are episodes about how to get that off premises. Looking at AI and machine learning, where that fits into your organization. And of course, dealing with a distributed workforce, something that many companies are doing in 2021. So go and listen to it now. Just search for The Intrazone wherever you get your podcasts. That's INTRAZONE, or click the link in the show notes to check it out. Our thanks to The Intrazone by Microsoft SharePoint for their support of the show and Relay FM. Okay, it is time for the Flexies. Please stand as I read the rules for the Flexies.
I forgot we had to do that. And I just hit my microphone and punched it into my nose.
Loser of the Flexies must compensate the winner of the Flexies by donating to the charity of the winner's choice. The amount of the donation is $25 per wrong Flexi made by the loser. Each host must make a minimum of 5 Flexi picks. Flexies may be reused as future Flexies or regular picks. The winner is determined by the ratio of correct to incorrect Flexies, and the money must be donated on air. A tie in either the regular picks or the Flexies is to be broken by coin toss. As Jason Snell has a lifetime ban on flipping the coin, Dice by PCalc in Relay FM mode is the official way to flip a coin.
All right.
I have a phrase I'd like to change. And it's just because I have to read it and it's a little repetitive. I would like to say Dice by PCalc in Relay FM mode is the official way to break a tie, not flip a coin again.
Okay.
Just a reading thing. So last time the Flexi winner was Federico. Mike was the loser and I was in the middle. So that's the order we're going to go in. Federico, you're first.
Okay, so I really struggled with these flexes, just like I struggle with the risky pick, but these ones especially. So I had to be a little creative around the edges. The first ones were easy. So HDMI and SD card reader are back on the MacBook Pro. Seems that everybody.
I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Like, I know what the rumors say, but I know how great it would be, but the HDMI connector is a pretty big port.
I feel like the port itself is not like the connector, like the plastic around it is big, but the port itself is not huge.
It's at least wide.
It's wide. It's wide. It's maybe slightly wider than USB-A, maybe, or about the same width.
There is a small version, but it sucks.
Yeah,
Just
it's not
FYI.
good. It's not good. Also, I wanted to remind you all that it's not just the rumors. Remember how a few months back, there were those leaked schematics from the what's it called, Quanta manufacturer?
Yeah, they got pirated, right?
And they were holding them to ransom,
ransomware.
right? And they were like, "Give us money, or we will release the schematics."
And they were released on the deep web.
Joe, release the schematics.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much like that. So, and HDMI and SD card reader were there.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Second flexi, Apple demos a Mac app that takes advantage of the updated neural engine.
I like this.
Seems like a thing they like to do,
Yeah.
you know? And you have to assume that machine learning will be mentioned as one of the improvements in these new Pro models. So yeah, we're going to see some kind of demo, or, here's this app that does something with it that wasn't possible before, or that is now so much faster.
You have a problem with your next Flexi, I think.
Oh yeah, I got to change this because it's already been invalidated.
Yeah.
Originally, this third Flexi was going to be universal control has been postponed to a future macOS Monterey update.
I mean, it still technically could be.
No.
Yeah, but it's in the beta. I just think
Yeah.
this one's
The
sort of
beta.
dead in the water.
Okay, so we're skipping this for now, and I'm gonna think. Oh, what did I do?
I don't know what you just
Hold on. Let me get to the end, and then we're gonna get even
See
more
if you
creative.
get more inspiration as we go through these.
I need
next two.
I need some Flexi inspo right now. Okay, third. New third. Apple brings back the black MacBook for the new MacBook Pro, and it's called Space Black. Okay? Black option for the MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Space Black MacBook
I was going to
Pro.
say, what does bring back the black MacBook mean? That's the part that threw me off.
Like there used to be years ago.
No, I know that, but like resurrecting a plastic
Steven,
MacBook.
Look, no, Steven, you probably weren't paying attention. You don't know.
Brings back
What? They made a black MacBook.
the color. Okay, you know what? You two are being too difficult.
I had
Apple
nothing to do with this.
announces. Apple
Unveils.
announces-
Just Space
unveils
Black MacBook Pro will do
a
it.
Dude, that would be sick.
Space
I'd be all over that.
Space Black MacBook Pro.
Yeah, but it would be kind of gray. Like
Not space black.
But they have a Space Black. Isn't
These
Space Black
names
the
don't
color
mean
of the
anything.
titanium, the stainless steel watch?
They
Isn't
have
it?
used to be Space Black. Yes.
I think it still is the Hermes one.
I think so.
But yeah, Space Black is in their sort of terminology of colors.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to do a black MacBook Pro. I think it's going to be look amazing if they do that. So now we need to get creative. This used to be my last Flexi. Now it's going to be the fourth Flexi. John Turnus is wearing jeans and a black t-shirt. Okay?
He sleeps in that, I think.
So I actually did my research on this. I went back and watched the John Turnus segments of all previous keynotes available on the apple.com website. John Turnus is a man who likes jeans, is always wearing jeans in these events.
He's pretty ripped, too.
He is, and now the upper body wear varies. John Turner has worn a green T-shirt.
Do you have
blue-
like a file? Like you have
No,
like
I don't. I took notes, but I don't have. I don't have screenshots. Green T-shirt, gray
do you have
T-shirt.
Turnus inspo?
I have a mood board that is just John
It's a
Turner's
John Turnus
aesthetic.
mood board. It's good. It's good. I
John
like it.
Turner's my John Turner's mood board. Jeans, usually black shoes with some white accents or not. He's also worn
no.
pure black shoes.
Space black shoes.
Space black shoes. It's done green T-shirt, gray T-shirt, blue sweater. That was new last year. So I feel like in keeping with the theme of a pro event, and if they do the Space Black MacBook Pro, black T-shirt. Why not? Jeans and black T-shirt for John Turnus. Now, I'm missing a flexi here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I cannot use the AirPods one. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. I'm typing this live.
There is going to be a funny scene involving one of the characters of Ted Lasso.
Yeah. So I'm thinking they're going to do a scene where one of the characters from the Ted Lasso series will do something related to the event in character. Like, imagine, for example, Ted Lasso talking about the new MacBook Pro or, Nate using the new AirPods or something like that. So I think they're going to use one of the characters from the series as part of the event.
All right.
Either like as a funny movie or an ad or something like that.
Maybe it's Roy Kent and he can be everywhere with 5G on his laptop.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I like that.
Could be that. Could be
That's very
Higgins doing something like
Yeah, because Higgins can get his desk from anywhere.
Yeah.
This is good. This is good.
Okay.
All right.
I'm up next. I have 7. USB-C charging is faster than the new MagSafe.
Okay.
MacBook Pro.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a clarification, just a question.
Yeah.
Do you mean in general or on the machine, like on the MacBook Pro? Do you think you'll be able to charge with both is what I'm asking?
I think the MacBook Pro will be capable of charging from both. It'll have MagSafe, but if you have a USB-C charger, that is capable of going faster.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and I hope for that reason USB-C remains a charging option.
I think it will. And it kind of helps the thing of like, well, I have a bunch of USB-C chargers. Well, that's cool. You can keep your 95 watt from your old laptop. It'll still work fine. Mm-hmm. MacBook Pro colors don't include anything radically new for the line. So no orange or green or pink, I think they're going to stay in the tones they've been in.
Mm-hmm.
The chip is called the M1X. A new MacBook comes with at least one non-USB-C / Thunderbolt port on the laptop itself.
What? Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay.
The new MacBook Pro displays run at native 2x. Right now, the default is like a 1.5x, I think, and it makes Marco very upset. macOS Monterey features are reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
That one feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the new MacBook Pro Power Bricks have ports on them like the iMac does for Ethernet.
I hope that they at least do the Ethernet one for that.
And again, that's a pro thing,
6 flexes.
6.
You. Okay.
No, 7.
7?
7 flexes.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm a Mac Power user,
Well, that makes
We'll
sense.
see, won't we, if you lose on
The end of that podcast. Sorry, David.
Yeah, if you lose, then now you look silly,
Yep.
don't you, If Federico beats you in the flexies, you're gonna look like a real
Dang,
fool.
John Turnus and his black t-shirts.
Can you imagine if, it's Ted Lasso taking a computer to John Turnus? It's like, it's gonna
Here you
be a
go.
terrible
Like, here you
minute
go,
for you.
John.
And then John says, "Oh, thanks," and then Ted says, "Nice T-shirt, John," and then walks away.
Okay,
Oh
yeah,
my.
you know what? If that happens that way, then I'm okay with being defeated.
It's like they're reading our document. My flexies, new AirPods.
Okay, just Standard AirPods?
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get AirPods Pro or anything. No, it's
I
just
don't
gonna
either.
be because those AirPods 2, they've been around for a really long time now.
Several
Really
years.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
MacBook Pro has a mini LED screen.
Ooh, I hope so.
This, if they do this and also don't have a standalone display, it will only make me more sad as somebody who uses a MacBook Pro in dock mode all the time.
And I could see this being like a 16-inch option, but maybe it's not on the smaller one. I know you don't say anything about that, but I could see that happening.
That would bum me out because I
Me
don't
too.
want that.
I don't want a
space.
16-inch laptop again.
Like, I don't want that. What is aircraft carrier? That's what I'm looking for. It took me 4 tries to get that right. Chip is not called M1X.
Ooh.
Okay. I actually think Mike is right on this.
I was wondering about this anyway, just because they don't need to do this. They could call it whatever they want. And then I think I saw Mark Gurman saying last night that, like, M1 is kind of old now, and M2 will be here pretty soon.
Yeah.
And is it going to get confusing as to which one is the more powerful one?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have like what I would call it, but I just am not convinced that they will call it M1X.
Guys, I have some very sad breaking news as a follow-up to previous breaking news.
Oh, dear.
You know how I mentioned that checkbox for universal control?
Okay, is it gone already?
It's not selectable.
So maybe you shouldn't have changed that Flexi.
Oh, it's so good.
No, well, it's still there.
Who knew Apple was
And
using Swift UI and system preferences?
Yeah, what if it's just accidentally in beta 10?
No, I feel more confident with the Ted Lasso. Do I?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. No. Yeah, I'm not bringing it back.
All right. What's up? What's left?
Webcam will be called highest quality on a Mac.
Okay.
The laptops will be thicker than the models they replace.
I actually agree with this.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Thicker where? The screen part?
In the
Or the
specs,
keyboard?
just the specs.
Okay, so
Like the actual
okay.
specs, you know, like when you go to the
in
to
general.
the page.
Okay, yeah, the overall thickness. Okay.
And what makes me think of this is the iPad. When they went to mini LED, the iPad got thicker.
Yeah. ThickBook
And
Pro.
So
Yeah.
I think it might be for that reason that they would make it a little thicker. And plus, I think Apple of 2021 has clearly shown that they're not as worried about this as they used to be. Like, they'll go thin where they can, but if there's a reason, like a good reason for battery life or whatever, they'll make their products thicker. Like the iPhones have been getting thicker for the last few years. So
Like putting up new ports in it, or
yeah, and that could be a problem. Not like, you know, or a reason necessarily a problem, but like you know, I wouldn't want it to be much heavier personally, but a little thicker for good reason. I'd be fine with.
well, those are our picks for the Unleashed Apple event taking place on October 18th. So we'll be back next Wednesday to judge our picks to name a chairman. Until then, if you want to find stuff we spoke about, head on over to the website at relay.fm/connected/367. There will be links there to the Rickies websites, so don't get spoiled by that. Listen to the show first. Well, I guess here at the
Well,
end
by
of the
this
show.
point, it's totally fine.
Totally fine. Don't
Isn't it?
spoil your previous self. That's what we're
If you
saying.
did, we tried to warn you, but it was just a little late.
We tried to warn you after it was already happening. You can find us all online. You can find Federico on Twitter as Viticci, Viticci. He is the editor-in-chief of MacStories.net. Well, where assumedly we'll see a macOS Monterey review at some point. Maybe.
And a Mac Pro review also. Working on that.
You know, if you did a Mac Pro review and you didn't hire me to do it, I would be legitimately sad. I'm just going to say.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
If there's a new Mac
Okay.
Pro, I'll review it for Mac Stories.
Okay, deal.
Wait a second. Hold on. I want to dig into this.
Yeah.
Because this is now that thing where Steven can be like, oh, I had to buy the Mac Pro because Federico needed me to review it for him. And I'm very confident that there's some kind of bet that we have had a bet about Steven replacing
I
his Mac Pro.
think there is a bet somewhere.
Probably.
Yes.
Gonna hold off.
Unless Federico asks you to review it.
Unless I need to do it for my journalistic integrity, then I'll upgrade against my
right.
will.
It's and for science.
For science.
You know, he's a professional reviewer.
Put them both on wheels, race them down the
doing
street.
professional things. Oh, man. Yes. Yeah, we got to do that. Do you think they will still support wheels?
I hope so. I got like 4 sets of them in here.
It depends. If it's small, I don't think so.
Right?
They only have wheels because it's so friggin' big.
No, it's because pros move them around between editing bays. Didn't you watch the keynote?
If it's small, they just put a handle on it and say, pick
There's
it up,
handles on it
lazy.
now. Wheels.
Yeah. If it's small...
Or, listen, I got it. Instead of wheels, they put skis on it.
No, they just make it round, completely round.
Like
so
the Nexus
down
Q.
the hole.
Remember that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, my. That
You
was
just roll it down the hole.
Or, hear me out. What if it's a cube again? Huh?
Oh, I think it will be a cube. Like I think it will be a
but
cube.
a cube with a handle?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
man.
the handle could be like what they have now, right? Like it.
If it's a cube with a handle, so if Apple doesn't, basically like a Nintendo Cube, but it's a Mac Pro, I'm gonna get one. I don't care if I don't need it. If it's a cube, I will get the cube.
Apparently, in the annual Rickies for 2019, my round one pick was the Mac Pro will ship ungraded. I waffle on sticking with my iMac Pro. We all know how that ended.
Mm-hmm.
You can find Mike on Twitter as IMYKE. Mike hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM, including Upgrade, where you and Jason will be playing a draft. It's a different game than what we do. Very different rules. Mike, when are y'all doing that?
Tomorrow. Just because it never ends.
Hashtag pray for Mike.
Recording tomorrow at noon Eastern time. Was when we're doing it live. It will be out tomorrow.
Doing it live. You can find me on Twitter as ISMH. You can read my Mac Pro reviews on macstories.net and the rest of my more boring writing at 512pixels.net. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Fitbod, Mac Weldon, and the Intrazone by Microsoft SharePoint. I'd like to thank our members. If you want to become a member and get a longer ad-free version of the show, this week we spoke about bookcases and a very troubling iPhone trend and Federico's HomePods and pet peeves and reading. Talking about a lot of stuff in the Pro Show today. Go to getconnectedpro.co, I think. Getconnectedpro.co. Yes. Getconnectedpro.co and become a member, $5 a month. We would really appreciate it. If you're already a member, thank you so much.
Or save money and sign up annual, $50 a year.
Sign up annually, save some money, and you're in for a year. That's what annual means.
Yes, spend more money. Spending money is good, especially when you spend money on connected.
That's true.
Like, it feels really good. It's one of those things that you do it, it's like, yes, it feels really nice.
That's right.
Why buy merchandise? Don't worry about that. When you can get more of the show that you
Look,
love.
you have T-shirts. Open that drawer, look inside. You have T-shirts.
How many more T-shirts do you actually need?
You don't need more T-shirts.
Yeah, be like John Turnus. Have 3 that you rotate through.
What
Just
you
3
need
T-shirts.
is to hear how Steven buys furniture, for
And
example.
Hey,
I know I just said that. Don't pay attention to my other shows where I'm going to have merch real soon. Just don't ignore it there. And those shows,
Look,
buy the
Mike-
merchandise. On
Mike
this
loves-
one, don't worry about it.
Mike loves all of his kids, right?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
will be his podcasts.
Yeah.
but the ones
This
with
one
merch
is
are his favorite.
special. But this one is special.
they're
and-
all special to me. This one is special.
Yeah.
Also, we just can't think of any good merch ideas.
We had one.
Let's just
We
don't
had
worry
look,
about that.
We had a great T-shirt. I'm wearing it now. It's where we all had tiny heads and big bodies,
Oh
but
my gosh.
no one bought it. So now you don't get it.
Yep.
Now you don't get no T-shirts. Now you just get Connected Pro. Go to getconnectedpro.co.
GetConnectedPro.co.
Mm-hmm.
I thanked our sponsors. I thanked our members. I told people where to find us. So until next week, gentlemen, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.